When you walk in, the room has like wood floor with a red carpet on it and like wood paneling and two staircases that curl up to the upstairs. Through the back, you can see there's like a huge ballroom and there's a bunch of gambling tables set up in the ballroom. The theme of the house is like nice wood paneling.
Mm. Yeah.
To your left, there is a room that is more white, like off-white wood paneling, and like the furniture is like off-white cream color. But you can see in the center is a really long table that has like fountains of what you assume is alcohol. There are nice fancy crystal bowls full of pills, all different kinds of pills. And there's like like trays neatly placed around with lines of cocaine. Okay. To the right is a room that has like you know those like sofas that are like circle.
Yeah.
So like a few
The
of those are placed around. In the circle part is like cages with men and women and dance. In the back of the gambling room, you can see all around are like TVs hanging, and in the very center there's like a whole ring of TVs, and you can see going across the TV. It says the gauntlet on the top, and then it says place your bets on the bottom. And growing across the TV are pictures. The first picture that you see is a male and a female. They have brunette hair and green eyes. The names under the pictures are Adele and Adelaide. And it has the odds at 100 to 1. The
uh
next picture
go ahead.
the next picture that you see go across the screen is a woman who has really long blonde hair. It's so blonde, it's almost white. And her skin is super pale and she has piercing blue eyes. Her name is Katina and she has a 10 to 1 odds. And then after her is a picture, two pictures with question marks on them, and it says William and partner question mark, and that has a 70. You think that while you were looking in the room of drugs and uh, and alcohol, that you could have sworn that maybe you saw Josephine in a corner, but when you look back at that corner again, she's not.
Okay.
So while you get in and you look around for like a few minutes, and then you are approached by a tall gentleman in a all black suit, mask obviously covering his full face though. Um and it is a just plain white mask. And he says, "Are you William Ravelowe?
I am.
Have you decided if you wanted a partner or not?"
Indicate Nux next to me.
"Very well. Please follow me. We will get you ready for the gauntlet."
Follow.
So he takes you to a hallway to the right if you were entering the house. And he pushes on a panel that a little thing slides open. He like positions himself so that you can't see the code and punches in something, but it doesn't make any noise, so you can't even recognize the tone of the numbers. And then the two wooden panels open to reveal an elevator.
Nice.
Nux step in, and you start descending down, way far down. When the doors open up again, it is a long, narrow hallway that has like some gray bricks. You are brought into um a small little room that is all white on the walls, like white paneling. And there's two lockers, or there's like a row of lockers, and the gentleman says, "Please store all of your weapons." So after you have been sufficiently checked for weapons, patted down, you are taken into the next room, which is uh it's the room is basically empty, except there's like benches on either side. On the benches, you see to the left is the super white blonde chick, Katina. And on the other side, I forget, did I say left? Right? This is my left.
Either
On
way.
the left. This is my left. On the right, you see the two twins with the brown hair and the green eyes, Adele and Adeline.
Can I?
The one that the blonde woman is a werewolf, and her scent is oddly familiar to you.
Look over at her.
The
Have we met?
She just looks up at you with like daggers and says, "I don't think so."
Sorry, something familiar. Maybe I know somebody you know. The others?
The other two are human as far as you can. So, once you and Nux take a seat, you hear over a speaker a man saying, "Hello and welcome to the Gauntlet. I'm so glad that you've decided to join us and try to win this evening's prize. Prior to entering the arena, you must drink uh, from the cups that will be shortly delivered to your room. Each contestant or contestant group shall go in one at a time. You will be scored on the amount of time it takes you to complete the gauntlet, whether or not you do complete the gauntlet, and how creative you are at getting through the gauntlet. The prize at the end is, as you all, I hope, know, the skull of a kindred. After like a minute, the door that you guys came in from, the same man comes in and he has a tray with 5 cups on it, filled with like a dark reddish brown liquid.
Smell like blood?
A little bit. You and Nux both, it's like in a tiny little cup, so you can just like knock it back like a shot. Um, you both knock it back, and you're both fine, except you feel a little bit dizzy. The werewolf knocks it back, and it looks like it doesn't even phase her. The two twins knock it back. The girl seems like she's just a little bit dizzy, but the boy starts throwing up. Does anyone have any further questions?
Are we going to be expected to fight each other?
No.
Awesome.
The gauntlet is a maze that you must. And you hear William and partner. What, we can't even get my fucking name right.
Well, to be fair, it's not.
All right, so you guys step in front on the door, on the mat, not on the door. The door slides open. You step in. The door slides closed behind you, and the floor starts bringing you up. The platform starts rising up into an extremely dark room, but that's not a problem for you. From what you can see, the room is a large rectangular room that is just open space, except for the platform. All right.
Okay,
As
let's
the
maze run.
platform raises,
The death
you
cure.
hear the gauntlet will commence in 10, 9, 8,
Go
7,
stats.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Okay. Start running. Just
Which way?
forward.
Forward? Okay, are you going to go to the door that's to the right or the left?
Left.
Right. To the left?
Yep.
All right. As you start bolting towards the door on the left, you suddenly feel Nux like chuck you so that you move out of the way, and a beam of light comes streaming down, and as Nux is also trying to get out of the way, it hits his leg and you see it like sizzle as if like sunlight had hit it. And he's like, "Oh, bloody hell!" The hallway's floor is just a walking balancing beam, and over it, it's over a pit of wooden spikes. Round, you get to a point where you can either go to the right or to or straight.
We'll go right.
Okay. You go down the hall and you get to a door.
To a door.
Says exit. Perhaps that you can tell.
Kick open the door. Bam!
Okay. As you kick open the door, flames burst up from like down.
Track.
Yeah, I don't think that's the exit.
Yeah. It seemed like a lie.
Okay, you enter. You go straight, and then you find another doorway. Inside this room, you can see to the left is another door. And the room is covered in hot coals.
Perfect. I'm like, okay, here we go. Pick up Nux and
I can climb on the wall, you know.
this is faster.
Oh,
I'm
shit.
going to jump over the coals with celerity.
Luckily, you noticed right before you landed that the hallway for that door is another beam.
So stop right at the juncture,
Yep.
like right in the
But then
doorway.
yeah, right in the doorway. But there is like an area by the doorway that is not coals.
Yep.
Enough for one person to stand.
Well, I'm
So you
still
can
carrying him, so
yeah, put Nux down on the balancing beam. This is just very degrading. All right. So you get to the other door that was on the wall that you were facing when you came up off the platform, and you enter a room that suddenly like shines big bright lights at both of your faces, and you're both just like, I need a cigarette.
after. Pull back for a second.
You guys step back and let your eyes adjust. As you're letting your eyes adjust, you see that arrows are being flung all across.
Oh,
Right. All right.
yeah.
So you get to the other door. Nux is crawling behind you. Nux actually is crawling a lot better than you, and he just kind of like scoots all across the floor really quickly, and he gets to the door first. Oh yeah, it's locked. I'll pick it. Oh shit. They took my fucking. No.
So force it.
Hold on. He like digs deep into one of his pockets and takes out a hairpin.
I love that you have.
Okay. He opens the door. It is a hallway that goes straight and then to the right, and then there's a door that says exit.
Well, this probably isn't true, but what the fuck? Kick open the door, leaning back from it.
So the door actually opens up towards you.
Oh, open it, and step back behind it, using it as a shield.
And Nux is just like, what the hell? Nothing comes out of the door, but the door it's just bars. Go through the next door, and you enter a hallway that is completely covered in fog. Like it's so thick, you can like if you hold your hand like this, you can. And doors from the left, right, and in front of you slide up, and uh the kindred come out snarling and growling, and you can tell they're like friends.
If I'm going first, boy, this is one of those moments where I really wish I was better at punching. Um, yeah, I'm gonna go for just a massive slam with my fists.
All right. So you go ahead and you punch the kindred so hard it like spins around and like falls back into. Nux reaches into his boot and pulls out a broken piece of the arrow.
That is awesome.
And he goes ahead and stakes the kindred right in the heart, so the kindred just kind of like falls down into torpor.
Nice.
And then he reaches in his other boot and tosses you another broken arrow.
How many did you bring?
Enough. Okay. Da, 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 da. So you go to the other side, which is another doorway and a hall. And you get to a room.
As we get down, you know what confuses me? They must have some kind of special cameras. Otherwise, how are they seeing us? It's just a bunch of blur.
Once you get to the room, uh, a ring of fire just ignites in the door. Well, should be
I,
perfect time for a cigarette.
I look at Nux. You know, they probably weren't planning on kindred like us dealing with this.
Yeah.
Think.
So we try for the exit.
I guess it's got to be right eventually.
All right, you both. I'm assuming you're using your celerity.
I was actually thinking I would use my resilience.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, Nux is using his celerity, so he can just as fast as he can through the fire.
Yeah, I'm gonna get to the other side.
You both
Not
get to the other side. You got there first, or Nux got there first because he was.
yeah. Kick open the door.
All right, and you have found the exit. Rules. Um, and then on the screen it shows the Gauntlet champions, William and Nux. So you see the werewolf chick looks like she's all kind of like she's got bullet holes in her, and from what you can tell from werewolves, it's probably silver because they haven't healed. And but the two twins are both laying on like stretchers, and there's like paramedics tending to them. They look like they're pretty bad.
Is
Once you
werewolf
got
around?
yes. So actually, you see her in the gambling room. She's standing next to like a Russian roulette table, and she's talking to a man that you recognize from Poland. The freakishly white-haired, pale-skinned, blue-eyed werewolf. He goes to shake your hand.
Nothing in his palm, right?
No,
Is that like a needle full of adder venom or some crap?
no.
Shake it somewhat uneasily.
He says, "Well played, Mr. Ravelowe," and then he like slightly pulls you in closer to him, and he says, "Tell Josephine she won this one." Magda is talking to a man who is wearing what looks like he is not wearing a suit and red vest like everybody else here. He's wearing what looks like an old-fashioned like general's. All right. So you go ahead and walk on over, and Magda looks at you and is just like, "Oh, William, you have made me quite the popular person here at this party. So good to see you, dear boy." She hugs you.
Your pride is the greatest prize of all.
Let me introduce you to the host here. This is Sir Edward Doyle the Third.
The third. A prestigious
Yes.
land, no doubt. Offer my hand.
He shakes it. Yes, very impressive show, young dear boy. But you can call me Sir Edward.
Sir Edward, what's the origin of the crest that we saw?
I'm
The
sorry.
stylized A on the invitation.
Oh, yes. Well, I do suppose since now you've been sort of indoctrinated into our little group here, we can tell you. We are a sect of a hunter group called Ashford Abbey.
Involved with this group.
Oh, well, my family goes back for generations with Ashford Abbey.
Did you know what I was before this?
I had an inkling when we first met, but given that your professor was human and he's not really necessarily, as far as I know, into the supernatural, I wasn't quite sure.
Not that I know he knows. He brushes really close to it, but I suspect he's so caught up in the academia minutia of it that he doesn't actually give any credit to its possibility.
Yes, well, to keep up with keeping everything a secret, I have always tried to sort of lead him a different direction.
Well, for what it's worth, I never took you for a hunter, so my hat's off to you.
Oh, I don't really do the hunting anymore.
Ah, family association then.
Yes, when I was younger, we used to go on the hunts, especially if the werewolf population started to get a little too populated.
Out to the car with everybody.
All right. As you are driving down the long stretch of road with all the trees on either side, and Nux is regaling the story as if Rose and Juliet hadn't already watched it. Uh, you feel a breeze brush past your cheek, and you hear a very familiar voice say, "Well done, my dear boy."